This fall, Interactive Magic will enter the realm of historical strategy games with Exploration, a game depicting the colonization of the Americas by Europe. The game was first released in Germany by Software 2000 and is now making its way to the US. We recently talked to Michael Chen, the leader of the design team, which is updating this German game for American audiences, to get an early look at the colonization of the New World. In Exploration, you play as an explorer for England, France, Portugal, Spain, or the Netherlands. Starting with just one ship, you must explore, colonize, and exploit the New World.
You start out the game as an explorer with one ship and a small crew and some supplies and a very limited knowledge of the world around you. And from that, you set sail into the great unknown, perhaps to fall off the edge of the earth, perhaps to not, and try to find land, befriend the natives or conquer them, depending upon what your viewpoint on the world is, establish colonies, and set up a profitable empire for yourself and for your nation. And your eventual goal is to achieve fame and fortune for yourself.
Naturally, as soon as you arrive in the Americas, you'll be greeted by the natives. Coexisting peacefully with them isn't always the easiest thing to do, but a prolonged war can be costly.
When you meet some natives, you have the opportunity to try to befriend them and incorporate them into your colonies, or you can just attack them instead in order to take over their area. But if you do attack them and take them over, then you end up killing them all off. So really you just get an area with no population in it.
Of course, the natives aren't all you'll have to deal with. 4 other European nations are vying for the Americas, and your attitude toward them will shape the rest of the game.
Your relationship to the other players is governed by a set of politics where they'll declare war, declare peace, or you can declare war, declare peace with them. And when you want to have peace with them, you normally have to pay a sort of an inducement financially to convince them that it's in their best interests. And the amount of this inducement is going to depend on your behavior up to that point towards them. If you really haven't had much contact with them at all, but you decide that you think it's just best to have peace with them, then it'll be fairly small. But if you've been at war with them for the past 20 turns, actively attacking, destroying their cities, then it can be quite substantial.
The goal of Exploration isn't military conquest, but financial achievement. Still, the most peaceful player will be hard-pressed to stay completely out of combat situations as the landscape grows more and more crowded.
You can play a very peaceful game and develop yourself very effectively and do very well in the game. In all probability, you're going to run into the other players, and they will already have taken up areas where you want to be, and they'll be in the way. And so war is almost inevitable, but we're not absolutely demanding that you engage in marching on your opponents.
Even if you strive for peace, leaving your colonies undefended isn't a good idea. The military units in Exploration start off very simple, but can advance as the game progresses.
You'll start out with units such as knights and maybe, I think, pikemen or something like that. And through a course of development that you can either fund to increase the speed of or just let develop on its own, you'll develop better and better forms of foot soldiers and of cavalry and of artillery. So by the end of the game, you'll be having, horse arquebusiers and musketeers and cannons on board of the galleons that you've developed, which would basically crush any force in the beginning of the game, which would be pikemen and very small ships.
Maintaining a thriving economy will be a must in Exploration. The laws of supply and demand will continuously change the European market, and you'll have to keep up if you want to stay profitable.
The economic model is responsive to the amount of goods that you're selling, so that if you're constantly selling tons and tons and tons of cotton, for example, you will depress your cotton market. And so there is a diminishing return. And to recruit and purchase units, you do have to spend this money that you're getting from your plantations and mines and all these goods that you're selling. So having a very focused economy and just cotton production will, over time, diminish the amount of military units that you can purchase because you'll be receiving less and less money for them, right, while the cost of the units remains the same.
One of the most important features of Exploration is its multiplayer capability. In addition to the standard solitaire game, up to 5 people can compete across a network, modem, or serial cable. Strategy enthusiasts, especially fans of multiplayer games, will want to keep an eye out for Exploration, scheduled to ship in early fall.